Well, good morning. Happy Thursday. Cup of Joe. It was so hot here yesterday. It was amazing. Supposed to go to a record temperature today, so perhaps you should get a shovel and dig a cave. Yeah, record temps. Oof, that's supposed to happen today. That's the prediction. Picking up my pipe for my stove in my cave today. That's on the bucket list. I finally found what I want. And I don't know. A thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Someone's pretty fast. Too fast, people. Too fast thumbs. Hey, David Carlisle. Supposed to get record temps here today. I tucked in my monster lemon tree into the shade a little bit. Why not? It's mobile. It's in a container. And I thought, well, why not? I'm smarter than the sun. I think I am. I'm surprised that I'm up now. 5:13 a.m. 4 o'clock. 4:20. Well, good morning, Wendy Benjamin. I was up all night. Yeah. I tossed and turned all night too. I tossed and turned, tossed and turned, tossed and turned. There wasn't much I can do about it. I don't know why though. But I'm going to a giant city fair. Like the whole city is showing up. It's going to be cool. I'll get a ton of video. There will be musicians there, live bands, food, trinkets, crafters, people selling everything and anything. They shut down the main street going through the city. The entire street is nothing but like a fair country type fair setting. It's to bring back in time, like where I'm going. It's a really cool city. It's not far from here. It's called Sydney. It's about a 20-minute drive in the slow lane. But they're building a lot of construction on the highway because business is booming out that way, because that's where all the old people went, took their money, and that's where they live. And there's very little crime there too. Very little. You know, it's a nice little city tucked away on Vancouver Island. That's what I look at. I wouldn't mind living there. I think if I went there, I'd become a painter because there's all these old houses and buildings and stuff. And I like painting. I don't know why, but I was there the other day and I thought, geez, if I ever lived here, I'd like to be a painter. Because some of the architecture looks really cool. It's an old part of the one time that's where things came into the city of Victoria here. It would go there. Maraz, Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. I think I have that right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, but yeah, I'm going to this fair today. Doesn't start till like 4 o'clock, so I'm going to pick up my pipe for my cave. I'm going to do an experimental cave with a friend of mine. He's a chief scout, so good guy to have around. He's been around most of my life. Blistering, how you doing, buddy? I've been watching a ton of your videos. Your shorts. I think I've watched every single one, and I yeah, did the binge. I did a binge on a couple of people. I just watched all the shorts. Marizada's Yarn and Crafts. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Well, it's just me here, but there's others in the chat. Blistering and Barnacles. Yep, that'd be Jamie. Yep. Hey, I did a couple of videos at that fair they're not coming up. I can't transfer them. There was that Rock and Gem show. They won't go over. I have to get someone that knows more about this stuff than I do, because there was a couple more videos, actually. I think maybe even 3. And no live in the caves. I can't read. Go dug mine, left. Okay. Going dig mine, maybe. Well, welcome there, Bug Tussler. There you go. There you go, and save. There we go. Welcome there, Bug Tussler. I remember you. You're up on my panel. Thanks for thumbs up, too. I appreciate that. Yeah, I surely do. I think that's the Bug Tussler, Mona Moments, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, they left. Oh, well. Hey, Aid. How's it going, buddy? Yeah. Good to see you there, Aid. Cheers. Happy days. Mona Moments. UE. I don't know. Are you on a phone? Because sometimes blistering there when he's on a phone. Mona Moments. Hi. Yeah. But this record temperature is supposed to come here today, so I'm moving my some of my plants into the shade. I just don't want them burnt. Like in my lemon tree, it can get too hot, and it's in a container. So, and the container itself can get hot. Hey, that's the odd part, because the concrete gets hot that the container's on. So moving it into the shade onto soil is a good idea if you're into container gardening. And I generally have a few containers of something here, and mostly that lemon tree I'm worried about. I'm very concerned because the simple fact that, yeah, it's a summer solstice today. Yes. First day of summer. Yep. Yeah, they're having this is the first day of the fair out in the city. There's a city not far from me, just north of me. And they shut down the entire main street. So I'm going to get a ton of video of a ton of craftsmen and stuff. Hey, Bill. I just watched your Spud video again. Yeah, that's pretty good. Good to see you, Bill. I like potato growing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I love it because I can leave here on Southern Vancouver Island. I can leave them in the ground and take them when I want them. Hey, so what I do is I just pull up the Spud greenery. Well, it dies right back anyway. I just pull it up and I chuck it over. Like I just cut it off. I put a little soil on it, whatever I got to do, throw some leaves on there, and it kind of hides it. Hey, so it's hidden food. If you're in your cave, you want to hide your food that's out there, right? So I love Spud growing. Hey, they have this one. There's a couple of them here. Potatoes. They over the years they found that the Spanish came up from Peru and Ecuador and places like that. They were in Mexico and stuff, and then they came up on the Pacific side, and they traded potatoes to the First Nations people, and they've popped up over in the San Juans. They've popped up in Guayhanas, Haida Gwaii, may know it as Queen Charlotte Islands. And yeah. And I've recently tried them, like last year and the year before. I tried them, like I just eating wise, and I grew them about 3 years ago, but uh, it, they were just not what I wanted. And they were a long potato and ridged. They were all ridged like that. And I was just like, wow. And it was really, really super dense. And it looked like a good one for shipping or storing. And that's most likely why the Spanish bought it here. Yeah, because British Columbia was part of Spain at one time. Well, Strait of Juan de Fuca, Cordova, Hecate. All these places are Spanish names, hey? Yeah. Hey, some people came in. My lemon tree is not doing too good. I almost let it die. Whoa, wait a minute. They require a little bit of phosphorus, eh? Just a hair above alkaline. Yeah, and they need repotting, and they do well in a container, hey, citrus. They don't get really big, but they do really well. And if you're putting it in a container and you, like my buddy came over yesterday and he had problems with hi Adrian, and he had problems with it blowing over. I said, well, just dig a hole and put it in the container into the ground. It'll stabilize it and throw some soil up against it. And you know, he's like, well, that's a good idea. It just beat hell out of he's gone to do that. Well, he has a lot of citrus growing up the road. I know I gave them all to him. I grew them like, 2, 3 feet tall, and then I gave it to him. And he's been a citrus grower, major one here in the Bay now. He's got quite a few. One of his died. Hey, the guy almost had a funeral, man. I was just like, it's okay. I'll give you another one. He's like, oh, okay. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. But yeah, citrus got to be protected if it's on the concrete, man. And any other thing too, that and if it's in a black container, that black container heats up. That's the one that heats up the most. I think it's white that doesn't heat up, or green. Green is really good too. But white, I think, is the best for summer. Yeah. So that's interesting to note. But there's supposed to be record temperatures here today, and I'm a little concerned about it because there's a lot of elderly people in my village here. A record temperature yesterday was pretty skookum, but it wasn't a record. But today it's supposed to hit the record. I got to grab another hot coffee while it's hot. Here we go. Cheers. Blistering. Atlantic Vest, any good? Oh, whoa, what's going on? Hey, Mr. Thielen. Very fun to watch. I really like growing spuds too. Yeah. It's cool. Growing on Vancouver Island, um, picked the ones that was planted at her place there. And so first she started picking these little tiny ones, and these big fat ones showed up, and then she started going crazy and picking them all. She's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh no, leave them in the ground until they're needed. I know in some parts of the country you got to take them out of the ground, put them in the cellar, but that's not the case here. I really like growing spuds too. Yep, me too. It's my entire forest floor is all different kind of potatoes. But I'm going to introduce those the ones from Guayhanas there, they're Haida Guay. There's a Haida Guay potato that the Spanish bought here. I really want like a 20-pound sack and just disperse them into the forest. They're absolutely dense and delicious. They roast real good. There's like, wow, tastes real potatoy. Is that a word? But people are just saying, I love my citrus. Me too. And okay, I'm almost there. When I brought my lemon tree in last winter, it lost a lot of leaves very quick. I think I let it go without water too long. Yeah, that'll do it. They recover quite well. Even if the top part of your lemon tree generally dies, inside, they'll regrow. I've seen that a few times. And I was trying to grow my my Satsuma orange eventually died after, I think it was like 7 years. I had it growing outside, hey, here on Southern Vancouver Island, but it died. And there was this major cold snap, and it just couldn't take it. And I pushed the envelope too, so oh well. But I'm assured that my friend up the street, with the lemon and citrus orchard, he says, "Oh, mine is beautiful." I think the guy worships it, man. He worships his Satsuma orange, and he's like, he was here yesterday, and he was all excited about it and whatnot, and about his citrus growing, and there's new blooms, new ones to eat and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, the Satsuma's budding." And I'm like, "Budding?" He's like, "Yeah, I think there's going to be flowers." And I'm like, "Oh, let me know what goes on," I said. But I'm going over there, put an air layer clone. I'm going to take one. I grew it outside here for 7 years, so maybe I could put another one there, and in 10 years, I might get a citrus. I'm doubtful because it lives that long. Yep. David Carlisle, they will lose leads if they change their environment too. Yep, absolutely. Hey, Buddy Biggs, it is insanely hot here, and I've been very sick with a weird virus. Yeah, meningitis going around here. Yeah, if you hear people dry coughing, wet coughing, and puking, I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound good. Sorry to hear that, Buddy Biggs. Supposed to be a record heat wave here today. Only the bottom 2 limbs are living, and 1 new limb on the bottom. Yeah, just chop off the put it in the shade and cut off the dead. Always take the dead off of trees. Be the tree doctor. Apparently I was one of them in past life or past career. So what do we got here, Buddy Biggs? Hope you feel better soon. Howie, did you ever try red thumb potato or red apple potato? I don't know. See, what I do is I go to the store, and if I like something, I grow it. I know I'm different, but I am your fellow Earthling, so you got to hear me out on this. Go into the store, you buy these nice potatoes that you like or whatever it is, and I just put them in the food forest. If I cook up a pot of them and I like them, I'm like, oh, I'll put the rest into the food forest. And so I've been doing that for a long time. And I've got all different colored potatoes here. It's really cool. It really makes for an interesting, like, fish and potatoes. Like if you're making like the cakes. You put the prawn inside the cake, and then a piece of salmon and halibut, whatever, and you put it into the cake. But then you mash up these a melange, like a bunch of different potatoes that you boiled in seawater. I got this little recipe that I do, and it's pretty tasty. I love potatoes. I think they're great. They're fab food, man. But the best thing about potatoes, if you've got diabetic issues, I learned it from Dr. Mendel that long time ago that you leave it overnight in the refrigerator, and the starches, the changes where it feeds your gut biota. I think it's biota. It's called. Big words that it probably never used but twice in my life. Grant McIntosh, good morning. Citrus is exciting. It is. It is very exciting. Hey, Shawnee. Hello. I wanted to plant pawpaw tree, but they are high priced, waiting for a sale. You know what the problem with planting a pawpaw tree is? You're going to have to wait a very long time to get the fruit. Okay. So the ideal thing to do with pawpaw, I think it's Tribola acinnamina, I think, something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, there's several different kinds. In the University of Kentucky, I did a bunch of studying online at their how they do their pawpaw, and I started growing some here. And I've got like 10, 12-year-old pawpaw that doesn't have fruit, and I grew it from seed. I bought the seed from some a grower that already had it growing, but it takes a super long time. So uh, if you go buy a pawpaw tree, buy one that's already 10, 12 years old. Like really, they like a swampy type soil. They like their root goes straight down. They're a tap root. Hey, they go straight down, and they're not a spreading root, so it's ideal to put near drainage with perforated pipe, that kind of thing. I wanted to plant pawpaw tree, but they were very high priced. Well, yeah, if it's a tree, that's what you want. You want to get the tree. See you, Buddy Biggs. You too, Buddy Biggs. Hope you feel better, man. Get out and get some fresh air. Take it easy. Just sit and relax. Outside, and sometimes you can get a sickness in the summertime that lingers. Cold in Sydney. Cold in Sydney. Oh, it's going to be hot here. Shawnee, Rick. If I plant a fig, I'd have to put in a pot and bring it inside for the winter. Yeah, that's perfect. Just make sure it's a deep pot. It can be done. You won't get a huge amount of figs, but you will get to eat figs. I like to add grapes and hardy kiwi to my plantings. Yes, yes. To when you plant your trees, yes, absolutely. That if you already have trees, you do that too. Put grapes and hardy kiwi to it. If you already have trees, and you just train it with a string, you tie it to the tree and tie it down to the kiwi, and then dig your cave over here, and have your pathway soil bank there, and you have your garden plot there, and then you have your food forest on the outer edge. I mean, if you have it all like that, and a couple of goats and a few chickens, I think you'd make out real good. That's awesome. Yep, chop and drop. The first planting of peas yesterday. That's important because then, but when you chop and drop the nitrogen fixer, the nitrogen goes just out through the soil. Boom, right? Because microbes break that down, and you feed your microbes, and the microbes feed your plants. And there's a lot more that I don't even know. I've never tried pawpaw fruit. They grow on the East Coast, Bill, right up as far as Maine that I know of. Yeah, and it's an exotic fruit that tastes like banana. It's got a bunch of seeds inside it, and they only last 3 days once it comes off the vine or off the tree. It's a tall tree. Yeah, yeah. Possibly down on the Avalon Peninsula on the southern of Newfoundland, it might grow there. There are climates, the smaller climates there that it might grow, and then pawpaw takes a long time to grow it from seed. It takes forever. I know because I'm growing 2 of them, and I've been babysitting them. I even dug 9 feet down because it's a taproot. And still, they're probably 6, 7 feet tall or whatever. But I've never gotten anything from it. But I say hello to them every time I walk by. How you doing? And they almost feel like they're unhappy there. I bought them when they were 1 year old, like from this nurseryman, a young nurseryman. He's probably like 13 or 14 years old, and he was selling them at this seed exchange. So I bought some. I knew who his mom was, and they grow a lot of food, and they sell a lot of seeds. They grow seeds. They don't sell it to a bigger company that takes all the and sells it and takes all the credit. It's these little growers that you really got to watch for some nice seed. But anyway, he managed to get $20 out of me for each one. So I said, okay. I had no idea when I bought them what I was in for. It took up space in one of my prime spots too, eh? And I keep looking at it going, so what I did is I planted a fig right beside. The fig could be the understory. See you, Mr. Thielen. Good night. Oh, I didn't know about pawpaw. Well, what a bummer that it takes forever for fruiting. Okay, I'll look into that. Swampy soil, got it. Well, it's not that it's swampy soil, but they grow and they're not going to grow in water. I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is it grows near swampy soil where you got that rich black humus, and that's what you get from a swamp, right? And they really like that. They grow along the edge of it. So that might give you, and if you buy a tree don't buy one that's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. You want a 6 or 7 footer not cut, but it's an ideal thing for you to grow. You could grow it where you are. I believe you could. And in southern Canada too, Windsor, and them kind of places that would grow there in southern Ontario. But some places might not do it too. Like if it gets too cold, it won't handle it. It can't handle. It's an exotic fruit. It's a subtropical that's managed to evolve into growing here one time when it was warmer in that area. Like today, I'm supposed to have a record temperature today. It's 13 Celsius right now, which isn't bad, but it's supposed to hit way, way like 3 times that, man. I'm like, what the hell? So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they would, Bill. Pawpaw it grows all from Florida to, I think it is in southern Ontario already, if I remember correctly. I did a bunch of it is actually. Yeah, dig your cave. Someone was leaving. Howie Duty calls. Yeah, dig your cave. Really? Yup. I will look for one. Why not? It can't take 40 below. It'd probably take 20 below, though, Bill. I will look for one. Yep. Good night, all. Crooked Peach. Good morning, Crooked Peach. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wild Edibles. Dig that cave. That's funny here. Dig. Yep. Crooked Peach. Hey there. Shawnee is saying hello. And people saying hello to the Crooked Peach. I've gone to Crooked Peach's channel 3 times now. You'll have interesting, charismatic conversations. Wild Edible says, I would have to go into the wild, Howie. Lots of spots here. For digging the cave or for pawpaw? Wild Edibles, hello, gets 40 below here. Laugh out loud. If I dig here, I get water, but it's like digging cement. Well, isn't that a crying shame? So you go find a hillside. You got no hillsides there for digging your cave? Improvising your cave. No pawpaw here, but very old mountains. There you go. See, where does caves go? They go in the southern exposure on the mountain. Got a horse, got a few goats, got a few chickens. Nobody ever going to bother you. Nope. Nobody likes to hike up a mountain. Who the hell likes hiking up a mountain? We're all a bunch of cushy bushies sitting on in your little cubicle. People don't get out much anymore, not in the city anyway. Hey, Aid's still here. Good to see you, Aid. And then says hello to Peach. Yeah. There's plenty of caves. Just, people are limited. As soon as they see the barbed wire fence, they're like, oh my God, somebody owns that. Well, not necessarily. There's pawpaw here in southern Illinois. Yeah, there would be lots of them. Yeah. The University of Kentucky studies them. What they do is they make this like an ice cream because it's so perishable. Like it perishes through, 3 days later, it's done. Right. And what happens is you can buy them because people want to get rid of them right away, and you process them, put them in the freezer. And I'm telling you, it makes the best muffins. It holds on to a lot of liquid, but a lot of fiber too. So you watch the ratio when you're baking. And really good in ice cream too. I've had it. It's delicious. Digs. That's funny here. Dig your cave, man. I would have to go to the wild, Howie. Lots of spots here. Yeah, I know. I know a little bit about Ontario. I walked it a little bit, not much, just a little bit. Hung around the zoo once. Yeah, gets 40 below here. If I dig here, I get water, but it's like digging cement. Well, if you got rock, and you heat up rock and throw water on it, it'll crack and crumble. Okay, makes it weak. Drill, hey, why not? My buddy made stairs going through his food forest on a mountain. It's a mountain of rock. So we built a food forest there over the years. I contributed, and so they contributed their time. So now they're sitting there with the benefits of it, and they love it. It's their go-to place. Unfortunately, recently they had to bury a family member. I felt bad for them. The kids, I felt really bad for. I was like, their pops is gone. So, yeah, too bad. That was yesterday, that funeral. I didn't go. I'm only attending one funeral, and that's my own, which I'm not going to have. So, well, I guess I don't attend funerals. Spirit's flown. The guy's gone. Gonna miss him. He's been to my house quite a few times with his kids and his relatives and stuff. Anyway, moving along. Very old mountains. I like very old mountains. There's pawpaw here in southern. Yep. Oh, yeah. I bet you've eaten them before, Grant. Mike is in St. Catharines to see his dad and family. Ah, very cool. Wild edibles, lots of caves down there. Smart. Mikey should look for a few different ones. Perhaps market a few and sell them. People like a cave when, SHTF happens, or they just want to get away and they're an introvert and they just can't stand to see this society, which they look at it as it's sick. And I could tend to agree with them a little bit. Yeah. So caves, why not sell a cave? Set it all up, put the stove in, and get rocking along. Here's your cave. Give me $500, please. I wonder if I could build one a day. Maybe $1,000 if I'm putting in the stove. Right? How many hermits out there? Lots. How many people want to get away from the city? Everyone, except the people that are total drones and brainwashed and sitting in their cubicle waiting for my paycheck's here. My paycheck's here. You all of a sudden, for 1 second of every 2 weeks, you're a rock star. Hey, everybody, I got my check. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Walter Davis, welcome. I was just doing a little bit of fun in there. Good to see you, Walter. Walter Davis has been around a lot of prepping channels, and he's been here before a few times. So everybody say hello to Walter Davis. Ontario can be cool in cottage country. Yeah. The old mountain area, I think I'm at the highest sea level in Ontario, second highest area. Huh. Next month, my son has the guys from work helping me with the house movement. I think in a German word, it's called Schitzen. You're moving along, or you're sending, or something like that. That's where the word, shite comes from. Schitzen. Anyway, it's good. It's good. It's good that you've got some guys in a work going on helping me with the house. Shore it up best you can. Cheap lumber on Marketplace, on Bookface there. Yeah, and burning your wood. Hey, they're wild edibles. If you burn wood, like just a little bit with a torch, it really hardens up the fibers. Okay, if you're going to build something and it's close to the ground and you want that preservation a little more, a lot of people use creosote and all this pressure treated. But if you burn wood, it can go close to the soil. Hey, as long as it's got a little air vapor barrier, you're good to go. Yeah. it should if you need some help with something like a visual, I can give good ideas. If you have the Zoom meeting or something like that, I could help you. Like I'm not obviously not there, and I don't know if I'll ever get there at this present rate. Yes, everyone is laid off, so they have a bit of time. That's the time to grab them. I'm running an excavator today so I can listen. Oh, cool, Walter. Been running loud machines lately, not able to listen in. Well, yeah, that's okay. Put some earplugs in, protect the hearing. I like it. I like machine excavating. That's fun. Lumber is covered because it's a local business helping and they can get the lumber. Oh. Now remember, burn that lumber a little bit. Look into it. K-Dog, Mikey, hey, how's it going? Oopsie daisy, loud noises. They make bear chairs, a type of Muskoka chair. Oh, nice. Nice. God like that. Oh, yeah, that's good coffee. Wow. Yeah. So they have dry lumber. Nice. Well, dry lumber's good. All goes down to the grain, right? That's what you're looking at. Especially if you're making stairs, something like that. You want a tight grain and you can see it. It's a stair boards. That's what you want for, like, if you're making some stairs. And then there's other stuff like, you got to look at puff puff past the smoked salmon. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Got to put my bandit eyes on. Yeah, I just finished my chemotherapy treatments. I'll be going home tomorrow, maybe. Well, I wish you a long and healthy life. I know a bit about that, like chemotherapy. I know a little bit about monoclonal antibodies, where they come from. And it's pretty rough on the human being to do chemotherapy. It's rough, man. Yeah. Oncology is a fairly new profession on the planet. I know a few of them, and it's great that you get to go home there, Mike. Home is if you can make it out of there and make it through it, you're one of the few. But I don't want to scare you any, but drink lots of boiled water. Flush that stuff out, right? Lots. Just drink tons of water. Tons and tons and tons and tons. As much as you can bloody well drink. Yeah. I did some of that. My body did not tolerate it well. No. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good luck there, Mike. That's good. You get to go home. It's hard being away. Yep. Welcome here, right? Holistic care book really helps guide people through after the yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. There's a bunch of information that you're not allowed to talk about on here. Hey, you got to be careful, right? You had then they found a donor. I can't comment too much because I don't want to break any of the gag rules that that's on here. You can't just openly comment. Okay, should I delete my comment? No, no, Lady Shawnee. No. It's okay. Hard to keep up with what I can't. I know, me too. I personally, well, my ego says, hey, chat about whatever I want to chat about as long as it's not offensive. And now there's these rules there where you can't give advice about some things. And that's what they call it, advice. But if you're just having an opinion, I think that's viable as free speech opinion. You should be able to have your own opinion. Now, if your opinion's offensive, again, that goes back to the number what rule, nothing offensive. So, yeah, no, you don't need to delete anything. No, you've never said anything inappropriate here. And as a matter of fact, you're quite inspirational, and I've been inspired by you. You can't tell people anything about, yeah, but yes, look into everything yourself, and yes, ask a doctor always. Oh yeah, sunflowers. Oh yeah, they're all open. Not here at the food forest. Heck, haven't even planted them yet. But at other places, oh well, I got other sunflowers growing wild here. Helianthus tuberosa. Yeah, they're the sunchoke. They are a sunflower. Helianthus means sun, and tuberosa means tuber. So Helianthus tuberosa. I have several kinds of sunchokes growing here. I have oka growing here. I have dongjing growing here. So I have a bunch of underground food other than a potato, but I love potatoes. But don't eat potatoes unless they're the next day. Like that's what I learned. Mine are growing, but they went in late. Strawberry moon tomorrow. Yes, it is. Yeah, the height of strawberries here is amazing. You know, they want $100 for a flat of strawberries here. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business. Like I can grow garlic and potatoes, but I only have a little patch of strawberries and a little pint, a little tiny little pint, like $10. I'm like, $10. I'm like, oh, I think I'll just go sit in my strawberry patch and eat a bunch of that. I notice the bugs are getting them. They're smarter than I am. Yeah. Happy summer solstice. Yes. Have you found your cave yet? That's that's the big thing that I'm going to do. I'm just going to do like a 1 or 2 day stint into the wild Pacific Northwest, into the North Pacific, and digging a cave, setting up my stove. I'm picking up the stovepipe today. Yeah, yeah. But there's a bunch of people that they call them enthusiasts that like to go into the wilderness and poke around. Well, sometimes they poke around and find feral people that are already living there. You know, they got few little goats. They travel around. It's not unheard of, hey, and it's not illegal to be homeless or feral. It's not illegal. You belong to the planet. You try to own it. Well, you give up 40 years of your life. Okay, well, who's the smart one? The feral guy or the guy that loads up for 40 years, huh? You know, if the gatekeepers really realize that everybody's a valuable earthling, then there wouldn't be a throwaway earthling society that we have. So that's my opinion on get out and dig your cave. Happy summer solstice. Yes. Strawberry moon. Yes. Mine are growing, but they went in late. That's okay. They'll grow. They grow really fast, sunflowers. I have a bunch of different kinds. And but anyway, when I get out, I'm cooking a big dinner for once: fish, surf, and turf. Oh, you want your steak, hey? Steak and fish, huh? Take it easy, man. Chew your food 50 times there, Mr. Mike. Masticate hugely is your my advice to you is to chew your food like a giraffe or make it into a thick paste, and then you know I'm just trying to help you, dude. Hope you understand that. I just back out of there. I go deep into the woods just off trail. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You got a horse, you got access to a few goats, a few chickens, go dig a cave. Caves can be quite opulent if you just go to a secondhand store or a garage sale, and there's some tile right there. There's some piping right there. You get some, a bear's not an engineer and he lives in one, right? A bat's not an engineer, but they live in one, right? Wolves will live in a cave. They're not engineers, but humans are engineering. They have complex thinking, and so do animals. Don't get me wrong, but they can't. I don't think they're studying the chemistry, the periodic table, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? At least not that I know of. But I've been watching these octopus. They got them down here, and they unlock things and open doors and stuff, and they kind of look alien. I don't know. They look like an alien from far off worlds, an octopus. Yeah, they look alien-like, something that would creep through space with all these tentacles. They scare the crap out of me when I'm fishing. I see them down there. I'm like, oh, get going. Had an experience years ago with that, and it stuck to my boat, this big one. I was like, what? Get off, get off. And he did. He let go. But I mean, it was up against some rock like this with a little buoy. And he just liked he went with the same color, kind of bluish as the boat color. It's just not getting more nutrients. That's a big thing. But actually, right now you're starving when you're doing your medicine stuff there. But you're right, you do. But you're starving. You want to starve them creatures that are bad inside you. It's like if you look at what's bad inside you. Like I look at my blood often, and then, as a matter of fact, I have an appointment coming up here pretty quick, and I'm going to go and have a look. And I'm going to do the government one too. They're kind of useless and stupid. I mean, I don't try to name call, but I mean, what did he tell you? Yeah, yeah. You're out of range. Oh, you're within range. Bogus, as far as I'm concerned. But I do listen to my doctor when she tells me about it. But there's three things you get from the hospital that you won't find in your cave. And when you go to hospital, you get blood work, prescription drugs, and X-rays, and that's it. See, as Mike says, I think that's what I see. Then okay. I go deep into it. Yes, I have a buddy. Yes. Oh, that's good to go with buddy. I have my test results phone call today for my health. What you talking about there, Shawnee? You all right? You take it easy. I highly recommend people drink a lot of water. Now, I'm recommending this. This is my personal recommend. Drink a lot of water until your urine turns clear. When your urine is clear, you know you're flushing all the junk out of your lymph to your what junk in your blood. When you eat, whatever you eat here goes inside your blood. Hey, and whatever you eat dead food, well, that's what you get. Eat live food, that's what you get. Homeopathic ran tests for me trying to figure out an issue I'm having. Yeah, you got to know. There's one thing that I've come to conclusion on, that I'm not a physician. I am not one, but I am, according to my faith, that I am from pretty heavy dude, that I am my own best physician. I can say that because that's part of my religion. Not that I talk religion much at all, but hey, I honor myself. But figuring it out, it's a tough one. And then maintaining the health in a cave. Like when you're in a cave, there's not someone to set your broken bone, sew you up. So before you go and dig your cave, there should be some skills. You should learn some skills like stitching and learn skills to survive until you can get somebody to a doctor. But like I said, learn new skills in your cave before your cave. Achy bones? Well, achy bones too. Yes, skills for the cave life. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can stitch. That's easy. I'm not you know, put the suture in, but I can do it for help myself, if I'm in an emergency situation. And I've had 3 minor surgeries without anything. Humans seeked out minerals from rocks and the sea. Yep. Yeah, I know people that carry around certain crystals, rocks, whatever you want to call them. They don't let it go. And they have this thing they walk around and it just pushes all these bad vibes away from them. They protrude love wherever they go. I'm like, wow, how is this so much love? Like, where are you getting it from? And I knew this lady, and she's like, well, I'll tell you. She pulls out her stone, this crystal, and she goes, this. And I'm like, oh, may I see it? Oh, yes. I'm like, I didn't feel any different, but hey, if you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But I mean, it's all in how you carry your living spirit, touching your soul with everything you love. But in your cave, you are getting grounded in there. And the earthing experience for the residents is that's your home, and you'll get used to it after a couple of weeks. But the first couple of weeks would be rough. I was dreaming about becoming a gypsy, but Romeo is too little to pull all my stuff. It's a great camping idea, but not really a dream for traveling. I don't really like to travel that much. It's because you're not used to it, seeing new places, and you feel your security blanket. That's my home here, right? People can't. And Romeo, he can pull a small cart easily. It's how much you want to bring with you on your trip. Romeo would pull a cart super easy. I mean, sheep, 2 or 3 sheep will pull a buggy. So Romeo will kick butt, I think. It's all in how the rig's built. But yeah, why not? A couple of goats in tow, and you're traveling. There's no law. And if you got to go on a ferry in Canada, you got to phone ahead of time, right? Like wherever you travel within Canada, you phone ahead of time saying, yeah, I'm bringing a live animal with my buggy. Oh, yeah, we have every ferry in BC has got a spot to put you. Oh, I traveled before. Yes, travel light. Oh, yeah. What you just need, only what you need. What you want and what you need are 2 defining moments here. There's a fine line. And so you take what you need to survive. And it's a good way to be for a little bit. So when you do go back home that you can do it. Like take 2 weeks out and go and see what it's like out there. Do 2 or 3 times a year like that at different times of the year to see what you're going to be up against. And really think about new skills like, today's technology, everybody can pretty much carry around a phone, a cell phone or a tablet and whatever. Yeah. Do you still go out of range here though? On Vancouver Island, you do. And people are there's a bit of a we don't want it here kind of cell phone service, because there's places that there's very few though, but they are here. But it's very few. It's getting smaller and smaller all the time. Yeah. But digging the cave now, I figured that, okay, why not? I won't be doing much digging. I'll be telling others what to do. How I want it done. So I've been looking over how the cob oven goes into the cave. You got to have your pipe, and then you have to have a separate burning area here that heats the your plate. I'm going to put a metal plate in here, and then the cob oven's here with the pipe going out. Now I can go smokeless with just a propane, but I don't want that. I want old school, that when I walk away from it, I know that if I have my family, my grandkids, my kids or something, or you never know, after a catastrophe, there'll be orphans that you got to look after, old people, your community. So if you already have a cave somewhere, you can show them how to make it, and this is what you got to do. And humans can scavenge pretty good. Yeah. I stayed in Canada but drove to BC before for a year and explored. Whoa, that's cool. Is there a book about cave setups? I don't know, but there's lots on YouTube about caves, digging a cave, making them quite opulent too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That doesn't have to be you're thinking cave with rocks and spiders. And I see people's comments on here, and I'm like, they just haven't thought about it yet, right? But go and look on YouTube. And one day, before this summer's over, I'm going to have a video up on digging my cave. I'm going to try to do this because I want to go and do a few things this summer, and that's one of them. Take a couple days out and dig my cave, but I'm going to make it very rustic, and I'm going to make it where it's hidden. I don't want anybody to find it. Nope. So when I make my cave, it's only going to be for 2 or 3 people inside the cave, and it's going to be hidden. I'm going to tie together some cedar poles, and then that'll be my door, and that's going to be out from the cave, and I'm going to go in through the back side of one side of the door. So it's kind of a hidden thing. So what happens is you'll see I'll have salal and moss on the door, and then I'm going to go around the back side, but it'll be on the southern side. So I'm taking advantage of the sun will be in your eye, and that'll hide. And I'll have out front of it the snowberry bush and a few other things. So it'll be really difficult to see inside my cave or even get inside my cave. But I also like it where it can be opened up in emergency. Like, that's a possibility. You never know. Your bedding could catch on fire and you're trying to get out through this around the corner, and then out. No, I'm just going to run at the door and it's going to go flying that way. There's things to think about that haven't happened yet, and it will. And it will happen. If you can think of it, it's already happened to somebody else. So your idea, is there a book about the cave setup? I don't know. I don't know, but I recently watched this 90-plus-year-old lady. Wool blankets really help. And there was a war going on, and she was hunched over, like she was messed up. Okay. And there's people that are deceased on the ground, and wasn't a pretty scene. And she grabbed all the little kids like by the arm, and we're going this way. And then she went outside the war zone and dug a cave, put a pipe in, went and rounded up some goats, and she's teaching all the little kids how to read and write. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my life. And she was my hero. I watched her. Within 2 days, she had the thing dug. Man, she had the thing dug already in the southern position. This lady obviously lived in a cave before. I know it sounds like you're going feral or something, but in actual reality, I mean, man's first home was a cave. Jesus hung out in a cave, I heard, with some sheep. Yeah. Hey, Nona Grace, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy summer solstice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah. Cave, I'm telling you, if it comes down to something like you hear all the fear mongering on the communiques, like newspapers and internet and TV, it's like, oh my gosh, like what the hey. Oh, you're welcome, Nona. You're quite welcome. Yeah, yeah. But we're talking about going feral. Living in a hidden cave. So that's Why would you do any of that? Well, when you see things that don't look right, like milk's $10, $13 for 1 gallon here. Well, organic milk, but still it's milk. Butter is $17, $18 a pound. It's like, whoa, a flat of strawberries, that's not a lot. 80 bucks, $100. I'm like, housing is $4,000 to $5,000 to rent my house if I was to rent it, if I was to rent a house here. How can you live like that? Nobody's got that kind of money. Yeah, how can you save money up to buy a home? You can't. So I thought about it, and I think the cave, if that's the way it's going, that's the way it's going. The talk around the world is there's some pretty crazy stuff going on. My goodness, is it very expensive? Yeah, yeah, it's too much money. You can't possibly make that kind of money to pay all the bills. You still got hydro and gas, and then you've got your taxes, and then you got all the banking fees and all your food to buy. There's no way they can raise the minimum wage to $100 an hour and wouldn't pay your way. I think it's at like 20 or just under $20 an hour here, but a chocolate bar is $7. $7, unless you want to go buy the sugary kind at Walmart, and you might get one for $1 there. But you're just getting a bunch of sugar and some wax or something with chocolate flavoring. I'm just done with it. So I just want to be able to go and that's my gripe anyway. I'm griping, but I don't like to run out of money. And then that's a possibility in the future as things are just maddening. The way I see it, a few goats, 3 to 5 goats, 50 Rhode Island red chickens. Save your radish seeds. They grow in 21 days. Squash, winter squash, storing your winter squash. What's a goat bring you? Milk? Oh, butter. Oh, that's a sweet thing. Cheese. Wow. Right? Yeah. Oh, smart husband. Yeah. Hi, Howie. Hey, Dave Knight. Hi, Howie. I have to get out the backhoe. Time to dig a cave. I think so. Why not? Yeah, that's what I say. Why not? Smart guy. My husband wanted to build an underground house 40 years ago. I should have been adventurous and done it. Why not be adventurous now? You can always pay someone else to do it for you too, with your direction. I find that if you're building something, it's best to be there. Just don't give it to the person and trust them to build something. But you know, like Dave says, where's the backhoe? I mean, nice southern position on the hill. Something that you go into when there's a hurricane going by or a tornado or, hey, Freaky Geek, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, David Corey with Crop, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, Freaky Geek. There you go. And yeah, time to dig a cave. It doesn't take but a day or two. If a 90-plus-year-old lady can do it, we all can do it. Okay. And don't tell anybody what you're doing. There's no law says you can't dig a hole somewhere unless you get caught. So don't get caught. This heat got anybody melted? It's supposed to be a record hot, heat wave today, a record temperature of hot here today. So it's actually quite a cool morning, but the sun isn't up yet. I should have went fishing really, but I can't go fishing because the captain's not going to be available because his pops is getting surgery and he's got to look after his mom and he's got all these things on his mind. His ex-girlfriend is tormenting him, and I'm like, oh man, how's the citrus? He's like, oh yeah, he perked right up talking about citrus, right? I tried to get him off the vibe, right? Yeah, I heard something about breaking record on the radio this morning. Yeah, it's you're a funny guy too, girl, lady. Okay. Fishing is a perfect way to try and forget all the worries. Yeah, and digging a cave and cave setup. Shawnee Shave said something really smart there. Is there a book out there? That's a good question. I've never looked for one, and I might have one book over that way on how to be an opulent cave dweller. And basically, the coolest one I seen was all these round river rocks, and round river rocks are anywhere. So what they did is they had ones about yay big, and they did about this big, and they did all these designs in the cave. And then the guy, because there was a water dripping in a spring there, he made a bath. I'm like, oh man, you're killing me here. And so the kids, he dug it all out with his kids, and he's got goats, and he's got a cow, and he's in the middle of the Middle East somewhere. I don't know where, but well, I mean, I kind of do, but I don't want to get onto the topic. But anyway, he had to vacate and go live in a cave, and I mean, it's just bad, man. You should see them; they're all growing squash, just like I had envisioned myself, and they're growing their radish, just like I had envisioned. I was like, yes, it pays to think and prepare and learn new skills. Yeah, yeah. Fishing, yeah, okay. Become a bear and hibernate whenever. Hey, a meteor hits the planet, where do you want to be? You want to be in that little geodesic house? I don't think so. I want to be in a cave and underground to survive impact. That's just one scenario that I can think of, but I mean, I'm sure that if I can think of it, someone else is already going through it. Went and looked on YouTube a while, quite some time ago now, and there it is. People digging caves and being feral. It's history has a funny way of repeating itself. So it happened before. That's man's first home. I mean, whoa, what's going on here? All of a sudden, you're out of the cave and you're buying on this grid. Okay, what if the grid goes down? Hello, cave dweller. Yeah. Hey there, Shawnee. Yeah, it would be great if past peoples wrote a cave book with diagrams for cooking and layout. Well, here it is. I'll give it to you. All right. So they're walking along, and there's been an attack on their group, their tribe, their foragers and wanderers. Okay. So look, there's a hole in the ground. Everybody, run in the cave. Uh-oh, there's a saber-toothed tiger in there. Get him! I don't know if there was the same. I'm just making that up. Okay, now we're the cave dwellers, and we the you know we the boss now, right? We're surviving in here. Well, all of a sudden a meteor hits the planet. Well, what happens to the little humans? Well, they were in a cave and they survived. Oh, oh, cool. Oh, we're being attacked again by marauders, zombies. Oh, one way in. Gotcha with the little spear. Stone, stone, stone. Right? It's protect the cave is easy. You don't got to worry about what's coming behind you. You don't got to worry about what's coming left or right of you, but what's coming down that little narrow channel right there. And then you put a little place over there that they got to go like that and look around the corner. When you look around the corner, and I'm sorry, but if they're attacking, well, you got to defend yourself. But don't go attacking anybody. That's a bad thing. Yeah, it would be great if past peoples wrote a cave book with diagrams for cooking and layout. Well, the cooking is easy. A little tiny rocket stove at the entrance and pipe it out. Like that's the bare minimum. I mean, you can go maximum. Okay. Put your cob oven there. Heats cave. Cob heats cob bench and cave. Oh, I have a heated bed. Woohoo! Oh, I'm sorry. I have heated water to lay in. Oh man, this is not feral. I'm not leaving any conveniences behind. I'm just rethinking and learning new skills. Dave feels like 38C in my part of Ontario day, 9 a.m. 38 Celsius? No. At 9? You better get some shade there, Dave, and freeze that block of water and put that block right here. It's called ice. Put your fan there, and you sit in front of the block of ice in a small room. It's nice and cool, right? You're smarter than ice. You're smarter than the heat. I'm pretty sure I'm smarter than block ice. Yeah. I love having fun. I hear it's hotter today than yesterday, but weather app on computer tells me it's only 23 Celsius. Well, that's not bad. Here it says it's 13. Well, I'm getting record cold temperatures close to it every night, and then record hot temperatures or close to the record hot temperature during the day. Yesterday was muggy. But I loved it. And I didn't go in water because I didn't want to. Yeah. But if you've got a cave or an underground room or anything similar in any situation that you can think of, you got to have your go-to place to go to get out of the heat. A water bottle and a fan and air conditioning is great, but when the grid goes down, you're going to need your what? Dave Knight says, backhoe, dig cave. Doesn't take much to dig a cave. Now, if you're like Dave could build a big cave hotel. And it's funny because once you start going underground, there's not many rules. Above ground, you got this grid. There's all these rules. But you go underground, there's no rules. Yeah. Just looked at more of the weather app. Supposed to get 27 Celsius around 3 this afternoon. Be careful. 27's not. It's getting there. My rule: underground bugs to bug me. Eat them, man. Put them in a soup can. Look at that. There was a 90-year-old lady. No, she was in her mid 80s. She hiked the Appalachian Trail several times. It's in National Geographic. I forget her name. If I had more coffee, I probably remember it. But she hiked the Appalachian Trail several times with her Campbell's soup can and a shower curtain. She put a little cut in the shower curtain and made it into a poncho. Yeah, she was well past 80. I don't remember her exact age. I meant not to bug me. My rule: underground bugs to not bug me. Well, a little bit of catnip. New skills. 28 Celsius in Windsor area now. Yeah, 28 now. Holy moly, what's it going to be like at between 2:30 and 3? That's the time to, you don't want to breathe that hot air, man. That's expando. And don't be breathing nice, cool air conditioning air and then go out and take a big whiff of that hot air. That's expando. And unless you have that elastic, you're going to have lung tearing. The temperature in India, people are dropping like flies, man. Yeah, every year a lot of people die there. Every year, and in the Middle East too, lots of people are passing away from the heat, like especially compromised or older individuals. Windsor, that's like Toronto, a city, right? All those tall buildings and asphalt roads. Yeah, exactly. Asphalt? We have an oil spill in the ocean. My God, they spend billions. We pave it on our streets and around our house where we live and sleep. Really? It's so toxic. That's the most number one toxic that humans allow in their environment is pavement. Number one by a long shot. Nobody's talking about it. I advocate people grabbing a jackhammer and just going taking a pothole, making a nice square one, and putting some brick in there. Maybe the thinky think thing down at the city engineering department might go, what's this all about? Yeah, the thinky think thing. Try and use it. I love Steve at Corsair Trainers when he says that in his videos. Try to use the thinky think thing. That's why you have it. Concepts of observation in your environment, in your cave, is that, there's no pavement in here. Yep. Oh, and there's one drip every second. There's a drip coming down over there. Oh, put the water bottle on there, put a string up to it, tap in the string any way you can. And then you got a bottle of water every what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you got bottle of water, bottle of water, bottle of water. This concept of observation will give you what you need, and that's what you want to see. That's what, when you're digging a cave, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've learned and what I've seen, and I've been in a lot, I've spelunked. I've done spelunking several times over the years, and it's freaky. Freaky geek. It's freaky. Windsor, that's, oh, yep. When did the noodle become thinky think thing? Yeah, well, Steve. Steve started saying it. Well, I knew about it anyway, because my grandpa used to go, try to think about it. But just the way he says it's fun. So not many people think of their thinky think thing. Their brain. That's a brain. When did the noodle become the thinky think thing? Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I'll step on Windsor. That's okay. Am I missing anything? No, but yeah, I'm going to grab another coffee because I haven't tortured my fellow Earthlings enough about dig the cave. Hey, y'all want to see what a honeycomb looks like? Hey, Freaky, you got to stay for this. Check this out. I don't normally share, but this is a honeycomb, and it's delicious. We can turn it on the side a little bit. It won't run out right away. This you may find in your cave, logged outside. This on smoked salmon is absolutely delish with a bit of dill, pepper, and a little bit of salt, sea salt. Boil your own water by the ocean, by your cave, and so, yeah. Now, here, you see, this is not fake. This is the real deal. I know exactly where this comes from. I know the address where this comes from. Baby. I'd eat it, but I don't have protein ready for me, But yeah, this is part of cave life, hey? Ooh, cave life. Interesting, hey? Num nums. Cave life. I'm just messing with you now. Cover that up because you got to keep it in an enclosed container because flies, but fruit flies and stuff that come there and lay on that, that's called mother. Listening to Pink Floyd, several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pick. Yeah, baby. And they're Dave Knight. They're eating honey, Dave Knight. Must have beehive near cave, Dave. Honey makes mead. What's mead, you say, Howie? Oh, Dave, this is honey. Numbers. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Gotta like honey, hey? Honey goes in the cave, eh? Oh, there's a bear around? Grab your honey hive and bring it in the cave and get your spear or whatever you got. Most likely you got something powerful. Protect the honey. Queen Nessie, welcome, welcome, welcome. That honey looks amazing. Oh, thank you kindly. I'll show it again. It's delicious. As you may notice, there's a little piece missing right here. There was a honey bear named Howie. Honey Bear Howie. Boom. Had to have honey. So when you live in your cave, Dave, got tobacco. I hear you got tobacco. A honey hive is the way to go. Honey is the most faked food in the world. Don't let them fake you about your honey. That was the first sweets that humans ate at the cave. That cave was their first home. Their first treat was a honey. I know it sounds wild, eh? You know, good to see you, Queen Nessie. There you go. Queen Nessie's here. From Shaz's channel, I met Queen Nessie. You know, always got something good to say, so I like it. Honey, good for the hair, skin, and insides. I like bee propolis myself. That's my fave. Honey Bear Howie. Now that's great channel name. Rrr. I got my honey. Look at that. There's a fly on there already. You can't leave the lid off. Not that I left the lid off. Like Homer Simpson. Nummy. It smells delicious. I can't have any. I'm a diabetic. I just have a little taste once a day, maybe every couple, 3 days. Got to be careful. Good remedies with honey. I like to throw a bunch of garlic in there, and I've grown my garlic. There we go. There's my garlic. I got probably 20 or 30 pounds. Seems like it's getting bigger and bigger, 30 pounds. Probably getting lower. But sure. Oh, my God. Must have honey. Got lots of garlic. I'm harvesting more garlic today, and I'm going to a giant fair for a city. Huh? They call it a township, but it's a city, man. It's a city. It's huge. The airport's there. It's a city. Yeah. Lots of rolling papers in the cave. Well, it's funny that you should say that, Dave. Around here, they use an arbutus leaf. Yep. Greek yogurt. That would go nice with, I bet. It has the wax still, so when you have a piece, you're still chewing. It's like, it's the wax. Delicious. I've been saving it. It's all yellow like. I've been saving it. I got a little gob like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but something. Honey Bear Howie. That's a great channel name. Hey, maybe I'll do a new channel. Good remedies with honey. Yep. Thanks, Howie. I have a book on honey and one on onions. Oh, nice. Yeah. This wasn't cheap. This little block here, wasn't cheap. I can tip that upside down. Yep. Better put my hand there. Oh, you get cocky. You're like a fighter pilot and get shot down. Put my hand there. Little bees made that, hey? Yep. There it is. Oh, yeah. I ate this piece here. I had to. And a friend of mine ate a little piece of it too. I just ate a little tiny piece. Don't waste them juices. No, it was a piece of wax. But that little piece there, that was $18 for that little piece. That'll last me a month, 2 months, but it's not cheap. So, you think about it, everybody's like, oh, you got to buy this equipment. You got to have that equipment when you're getting a beehive. No, you just get the hive. Okay. Just get the hive. Yeah. You'll figure out how to eat it. Don't worry. Nona Grace says, when I was young, my father used to give us honey off the cone, talk to the cone and like it was gum. But I really didn't like honey at the store. It must be the store. I refuse to buy the stuff in the store. It's so easily faked. If it's in the honeycomb, I think I'm safe. Good stuff. And like it was gum. Huh. Yeah, there was a chunk when I tried this one here was more than, it seemed more wax than honey to me. I was just like, I had it before years ago, but now I have a steady supply. Yeah. I don't own the hive, but if I have my cave, when I get my cave, when I'm bugging out to my cave, I'd like to have a hive already there. That'd be nice. You got some sugar. You got to have a little bit of sugar. Yeah. Lots of rolling papers, Dave says. Mullen dock leaves when they're not dried yet. You can use the mullen dock for rolling, but it's a powerful decongestant, and if you're congested, it's going to come out in a big hurry. Anywhere, anytime. Greetings. Okay. I don't know if I know you or not, but okay. Just talking about caves. Do you have your cave yet? Why not? Well, my excuse is I'm in such a tight municipality here. I got to get outside. Anywhere, anytime says hello to Nona Grace. Tuning live from Kenya. Kenya. Nice. Welcome. Oh. Yeah, Africa, it could be getting really hot there soon. I know it's hot in the Middle East, and it's hot in Texas, and it's hot in Ontario. So a cave. Who would have thought of a cave? Hi, anywhere, anytime from Scotland. Hey, Queen Nessie's from Scotland. Hey. Yep. Oh, I agree. A cave to stay cool. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A cave to stay dry. Yep. Absolutely. For sure. Hello, I'm back. Okay, blistering, we got you. Okay, buddy, magnet fisherman. Yeah. Oh, I agree. A cave to stay cool, a cave to stay dry. Well, with a rocket stove at the entrance, I mean, it's pretty simple to learn the skills of making a rocket stove. It's really even a lot easier to make a little tiny cob oven, about the size of two or three wheelbarrows. That's about, or like say two oak barrels, or maybe if you have the feed a village a little more. Anywhere, anytime. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, and Jamie's getting hearts and kisses blown at him, huh? By Queen Nessie. Ooh, this is racy. Cool. Hey, what's with a little fun, right? Um. Uh-oh. Blistering saying hello to everybody. Uh-oh. That's it. But cave, 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 cave. I can't seem to say it enough. 17 Celsius, 62 Fahrenheit here. Mm. Well, it's supposed to be a record hot day today. So I'd like to go fishing on the ocean. It's nice and cool on the ocean. But people wait till about 1 to 3 o'clock for the shoal near the ocean. And 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 that shallow area will heat up easily, quickly. Hey, something to remember when you want to swim in the North Pacific. Cuisine in caves: beetles, cave crickets, ticks, worms, and scorpions. Maybe not. You forgot biofilm, right? That's your number one thing that grows in a cave. Biofilm. Biofilm burger. It's for real. Yeah. A bit of bacon grease or any kind of grease or butter, goat butter, whatever, and fried in some, you make a nice little pancake of it, biofilm. You want to top it off with some beetles and crickets and ticks and worms, and scorpions. Oh, you go right ahead. But I'm going for the biofilm burger. And if worst thing comes to the worst situation is that you've lost everything, and the poor little goat's standing there, and then all of a sudden the goat's not there anymore. Well, you know what happened. Don't be a meanie to the goats. 20C and too warm here. Yeah, well, you're in England, man. Supposed to be a heat wave next week. Well, it's hitting here. It started yesterday, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not in my cave yet. What's going on? And anywhere, anytime is from Kenya. Kenya. Hey, my friend just went there. Yeah, yeah, just like about a month ago. Yeah, yeah. She went there and she went by herself. Left her hubby at home and said, I'm going to Kenya. She went on some safari there. She got all these pictures of lions and elephants and giraffes and wild forested area. And I'm like, holy moly. And she's like pushing 70, man. And she went and did that. Hey, and I was pretty impressed. Last year she went to the Great Wall of China. She had to go and walk it. She wanted to walk it. And I'm like, that's a long walk. She went and did it. Said she ate some pretty funky food though, and a few times going to the bathroom was pretty funky too. She said to carry lots of wipes with you for good cleanup. Perhaps that's a lesson learned for the cave, because when you're eating your biofilm burger, Shawnee Shave, if you have to, right? It's either the biofilm burger or the goat or the chicken goes. I mean, it's not too much at the cave that you're going to have, right? For meat wise, unless you're really smart and you know. But yeah, great thinking there on the bugs there, but burn we. Yeah, not for me. No. But hey, when you're in your cave, there's not much choice unless you've planned ahead of time. And that's the whole idea. I'm bringing my chief scout with me. And I'm going to, he wants to put in a garden already. Like he found this area that he's like, oh, well, this is where we're going to garden. I'm like, well, why are we going to garden there? He goes, there was an old well there like 100 years ago. And I'm like, well, that's a good reason. I said, how's the soil there? He's like, it's okay, but I think there wasn't much gardening there. I said, well, is there a forest or a swamp nearby? Yeah. I said, okay. And then I said, what else is there? He goes, well, someone planted fruit trees there, but there's no fruit on them. And I'm like, what kind? He's like, apples, pears, plums. I said, I think you got to come back later when, in the fall, right? In the spring, there's not too much, or wintertime. He's like, oh, okay. He's young. He's only 40 years old or something. He's a young guy. And yeah. And when I dragged him around the bush there and I pointed out every fruit tree and plum that was growing wild and all the wild stuff, he was very enthusiastic that because there's fish right there and there's fruit trees there and there's a well over there. Where's your cave? Because he's in charge of digging that cave. I'm going to give him an honorarium, like probably $1,000 or something for a couple days or 3 days, whatever I need him for. I can give him an honorarium because let's face it, I'm not in the best of health to be digging a cave. Of course, there's 90-year-old ladies that dig a cave in a big hurry when there's a war zone going on and kids need shelter. Where does Mama Bear go with her cubs? Well, I'm sorry. She digs a cave in the southern exposure of any mountain will do, any gravel pit. And logs like only this big around stood on end for timber. You're not building a huge tunnel where you're going to need engineering. Was Mama Bear an engineer? Went to university for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years? No. Mama Bear had 2 little guys and girls to look after and get in the cave. Why did Mama Bear do that? Because Mama Bear was smart, knowing it's a hostile land out there. There's these 2-legged creatures running around with pew-pews. Nuts. You don't see those 2-legged kind with the pew-pews coming in that cave looking for Mama Bear. I mean, there are a couple of fools, but I seen it on the internet there. They did not fare well. The grizzly went, rawr. I mean, a grizzly bear can crush a buffalo skull, okay? So your puny little skull, I think he'd give it a flick, right? Like he'd crush you like you were a flea. Well, don't want a lingering smell. No, burned pee. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, urine is good fertilizer. Nope. I'd rather do the goats and chickens and food forest. Laughed out loud. Yeah, like get the root veggies in. I'm with you, Shawnee. I'm with you. I'm using the thinky think thing. Oh yeah, I'm not screwing around. There's too many lunatics running around this world that they don't even know they're here. It's like trying to communicate with a bug. And I'm like, and it seems to be getting larger, these absolute people that don't use their thinky think thing. Like a meet and greet. Let's say hello to each other. They can't even do that. Instead, they send pew-pews back and forth to each other. It's crazy. This isn't Hatfield and McCoy's. It's the planet Earth. How will you keep the bats out? Who said I want to keep them out? Right? If you did, put a netting there. Oh, I caught a bat. Get the bat out of here. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. But good question. But I don't see it a problem. I've had bats fly at me in caves lots. And when I'm fishing at the river in the evening, like I like to fish when the flies all come out. And when I was steelheading, which I haven't done for a long time. Okay, we've got someone new. Well, the new guy or girl says, dude, WTF, hello, just wondering, does anyone else have a heavy haze this morning in the air? Well, it was a bit foggy earlier, but I think think there was a little smoke from the fire up north, the usual. One interesting thing was I didn't see the chemtrail coming out of the plane yesterday that was flying over. And I'm like, And then it was flying over, just had a little bit of coming out the back. It didn't leave that big trail. And it was a big plane. I'm on the border. It's thick here. Well, yeah, Mexico is burning, bud. Okay. And if you're like down Texas way, you're going to get smoky down there. Filtered cloth over your mouth, use a mask. You don't want those particulates in. There's no smell. That's interesting. There's everything goes on in the atmosphere that you wouldn't think of, like seeding the sky so that it rains tomorrow, or seeding the sky with some particulate to block out telescopic lenses and from space, whatever, right? So, hey, my friend is here. Hello, growing on Vancouver Island. There you go, growing on Vancouver Island. What's that? That's real honey. I'm pretty sure it's real honey. Oh, yeah. There we go. Real honey. We're talking about caves. Get your beehive at your cave and your food forest going on, and make sure you got lots of radishes. I'm on the border. Good morning. There's no smell. That's tough. Chemtrails. Yeah, that's yesterday I seen a plane without one. I hadn't seen a plane without a chemtrail for a long time. Yesterday I did. I'm going to South Padre Island in mid-July. Wonderful. Fantastic. And I imagine that's not far from you. I don't exactly know. I think it's on the East Coast, though, because you are. Nice honey. Yes. Okay, thanks, bud. Okay, what did I do? Hi, Vancouver. Okay, Jamie. I messaged you, Nessie. Oh, Queen Nessie got a message. But on a more serious note, seeing you like the honey. Here's another shot of the honey. I ate some with right there. I ate some. See that? Right there. I ate a chunk. It was absolutely delicious. Honey is the number one faked food. It's so valuable. When you're at your cave, nothing like a hive. That sun's getting me. Yeah. I enjoy honey and tart teas like rosehip. Really? Interesting. I as well. That's kind of different. Yeah, I'd like it in lemon balm and rosehip and rooibos. I like rooibos with honey. Yeah, it's delicious. That sun keeps moving me. Like, come on. Oops, can't show that. Very medicinal. Oh, yeah. Hey, come on. What's going on here? My son's following me. It's not fair. Oops. Well, what are you going to do? When we got cone honey, it came in a wooden frame. Yeah, that's exactly it. I wish I could. That would be a lot of money. A frame of honey, one frame here, you're looking at about $100. Mother Nature is your follower, Howie. Oh, yeah. Oh, I follow Mother Nature. I go with nature. Absolutely go with nature. Yep. So I'm going to be let the cat in the bag there, my friend. I'm growing on Vancouver Island. I'm going to try and attempt to dig a cave, and I'm bringing my number one chief scout. He's the only chief scout. Well, actually, he knows a bunch of other ones, but that's got nothing to do with me. But there's nothing that he can't do. He has emergency first aid. He's trained doctors, that guy. So, I'm in pretty good hands. I'm upgrading my first aid kit for mobile I'll be gone for a few days anyway. Grandpa and Dad were both beekeepers. Nice. They're nice. Nice. Where are you digging the cave? Are you using a bobcat? No. It's just a little hand cave, about the size of a Volkswagen Bug. That's about how big as I want my cave. And I can't really tell you that because then you'd know where it is. And I mean, you're not the worst person in the world. You're actually probably one of the best people in the world, but I'm not disclosing where my cave's going to be because I've already reconned it and I didn't take any videos. I didn't want any way to find it with the sun, the moon, and stars and landscape. And I'm not doing that. When I do a video, it will be from just looking at the cave. It won't look around for a tree line or anything. And it's my secret cave. Simple as that. Because if it's not secret, I mean, may as well put it on Airbnb. Come live in my cave. Give me $100 a day or something, right? Sell your cave privately. Here's your cave with your stove already built. What's that worth? I'm pretty sure people cough up $1,000 or $2,000. Yeah. Good business venture. Always think business if you're living in nature. Because there's so many people living in a cubicle. 99.99999% of people living in a cubicle. If they're not, they're in a tent in some war zone or they're in a mud hut in Africa. Okay, wouldn't you like a cave? Yeah. Caves can be sold pretty cheap. They're cheap to make. You need one short handle shovel, long handle shovel, a pickaxe, and you. There's no 40-year mortgage. Oh, it'd be nice to have a pipe going outside the cave if you're using wood. If you're not, well, not during an earthquake. Why not during an earthquake? That's the best place to be. You shore it up with timber. Yeah. And you're right there. You're not going down a tunnel and going into a cave. That's just not going to happen. But you should probably think like that. You used to think you think things. But yeah, I would want to be in a cave. Absolutely. That's the safest place to be. What's going to hit you? That's going to fall on you. Huh? You're not trapped underground. It's a cave. It's a little entrance the size of a Volkswagen Bug. You can't put a few poles in there, do a little, shoring up. I mean, are bears worried about the cave with an earthquake? No. Now, okay. Was the the wolf? No. Was the bat? No. Was the bunny rabbit that dug a little hole and made a cave to have little ones? No. What happens when the meteor come by and you're in your cave? I'd rather be in the cave. Thank you very much. Nope. Not at all. Trapped underground. Nah, wouldn't even enter my mind. Don't get me wrong. I like caves. Oh, I'm not getting you wrong. I'm fully understanding where you're coming from, and it's viable. But for me, I'm not going to look at that aspect because I will shore up mine. I'll have some clay and hay and sand and water and make cob. It'll be strong. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Yeah. I hope I'm not alive. What? Growing up Vancouver Island? What the hell are you talking about? Oops, sorry. I hope I'm not alive. If we have the huge earthquake on the West Coast, it will be the biggest disaster North America has seen. Well, you know what? Don't ever wish that you're not alive. Always wish that you are alive. I mean, there's surviving and then there's thriving. And the guy that has his own cave, he's thriving. I can bet on it, not just surviving. He's thriving. He's got a few goats, a few chickens. He's got radish seeds and winter squash seed and got a water source. Hey, Uncle Al, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, Uncle Al. Good to see you. And thank you for always sending me cool snippets on how to prepare spam to feral people or guys that are taking the advantage of a rock outcrop. I looked at that last one there, like a couple, 3 videos back there. You sent out, you did the posting, and then the guy went up and he swept out the cave. That kind of scared the heck out of me. I mean, hantavirus, deer mice pee, and he's sweeping away to get his sleeping bag into that little rock outcrop. It was kind of cavish. I wouldn't have done any of that. Nope, surely wouldn't have. Well, but I did learn a lot though, and I appreciate you sending me those vids. Yeah, the heat wave. Get a cave. Heat wave today. Dig a cave today. Say hi to Dave. That's my rap for the day. Hey, Urban Gardening Chronicles. Good morning. Good to see you. Just talking about caves and get your beehive and honey hive at your bee cave, huh? Oh, I love it. Look at that. That ain't fake. That's real. Now, that stuff at the store, that's 99% fake. That ain't. That's what you want at your hive. Biofilm burgers, bugs. Hey, if it comes down to it and you're in the Stone Age, and there's some crazy people running around the world that might make us that way. Everybody saying good morning. Heat wave at Die Bullfrog 79, California. Yeah. Mexico's burning. Hey, I want to be in a cave. There's a forest fire. Where's my cave? Ah, why did the groundhog live? Because he was in a cave. Why did the snake live? Oh, it was in a cave. Oh, why did the mouse live? It was in a cave. Oh, mama bear and the little babies. Oh, they were in a cave. That's why they survived the meteor. Hey, you retracted something growing on Vancouver Island. What did you retract? No retracting. I didn't read it. Urban says, yes, I am looking into bees. Fantastic. I would have to re-register for that in Ontario. No, just do it. I need to move to meet requirements for spacing. Just do it until you get caught. Okay. No, don't. You know, get a good sleep knowing that nobody knows where your bloody bee cave is. I'm sorry, beehive. And don't let anybody know where your cave is. You know, the more you go and you get a permit for this and a permit for that, and just do it. Just do it. Cave costs nothing. Shovel, pickaxe. Beehive, well, you can go grab some honeybees somewhere. It's, you know, I mean, do they have a license when a bee goes along? The queen bee travels around, August and just sets up shop there. This world's pretty controlled in our municipalities, and just go tell people to go blow. Don't tell anybody you got nice sugar, because then they'll take it from you. Well, I did under radar. Ooh, good. What's a bee box? Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Look at, there's a bee going that way. Go follow him, officer. I mean, he's going somewhere. Get him, get him. There must be someone on a playground that's allergic to bees. Get him, officer. Get him. Oh, that kid's got a peanut butter sandwich. And the world's nuts. The reason why you get allergic reaction from peanuts is because they're old and they've got fungus on them. Because they're not really a nut. They're a legume. They grow under the ground. So there's billions of microbes there. Oh, yeah. I convert a mine shaft for underground living. I convert a mine shaft for underground living. Yeah, there's an idea. Ooh, who wants to live in a mine shaft? Give me $1,000. Here's your room. You're a smart guy. Urban says, fly under chicken radar. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Dude, what the WTF are a problem apparently, but the honey they make is bueno. Yeah, I don't put that name on any bees. That's just I won't do that. Yeah. 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 As a matter of fact, dude, WTF, can you take that Africanized bees down for me, please? I don't go that route. That's not. They're just a bee. Yeah, and that's just I don't like. Thank you kindly, dude. WTF. Oh, Mandy's here. Thank you. Sorry, it's not that way. I want to get rid of dude there, but I don't accept labeling anything like that to make a bee bad because it's Africanized. I'm not interested in that. No problem. No problem at all. It's just if you don't know, you haven't been educated yet on that type of thing on my channel. That's all. I thank you kindly. I'm not either. Cool. I removed it. Oh, hey, Make It by Mandy. Good to see you. We're talking about caves and getting your bee box for your honey. Some stuck to me. Yes. Yeah. Oops. Don't stir up the bees. Nope. Don't touch the bees. Dave Knight's got his backhoe out there trying to dig a cave, I heard. Yum, that honey looks delicious. Yep, sure is. A little pinch of that and you can work hours. My friend bought a ghost mining town in the desert. Smart friend. Very smart. Very intelligent. Yeah. Do bees make honey in nature? If there aren't beekeepers, where would they store it in the hive? Well, there's lots of hollows inside of trees. That's their favorite place is to go inside a tree, but they'll go in a cave or an overhang where water goes off. They want to keep the hive dry. They're actually really smart. Bees do not fly. That's one thing you must remember. They levitate. They go off of resonance. They push this air and this vibration through them, and then that creates a vibrating so it's able to lift, and then the wings are for guiding. I don't know, a lot of people don't know that, but bees are really cool. There's 460 types of bees in my locale. Some live underground. There's these little tiny red bees. I mean, they're microscopic almost, and they can sit on the lid of a bee, like where above their eye, and it wouldn't even cover up a bee's eye. That's how small they are. Oops, got light pole. Oops, what? Can't dig a cave here very easily without being seen by the eyes in the sky. I thought about it, but I don't know. Got light pole oozing. Oh, well, you know what? Throw up a tarp. Nobody knows what's under the tarp. All the drones in the world don't know what's under them tarps, right? You could have a bazooka there, or whatever. It's when you use the thinky think thing, it's called concept of observation. And if there's a need for an invention, which is the father and mother of invention, is because there's a need. And invisibility is a whole art form in itself. We've been converting tunnels to living areas. You're a smart man, Uncle Al, and that's why I always watch your video content on your cooking to your ideas. And some of your rants are pretty far out there, but if you really look at it and look at the perspective, then you get a different perspective of what you're talking about. And I always listen to everything you have to say. I think I might have missed a couple of videos recently because I've been busy, but you always have really good intel and you shout out other good channels and you're loved. I just want to tell you that. If I show up, I'll take a room in the mine shaft or underneath the ghost town. If I show up, you never know where a guy's going to be tomorrow. They can see through anything. Laugh out loud. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get a good sleep tonight. If someone wants to worry about what the gardener is wearing in his hat, it's a hummingbird sign of love, go for it. Here you really have to want it to be in the ground we have here. Well, when it comes down to it, there's a meteor hitting next week and the planet Earth, and it's going to, knock the place back into the Stone Age. The guy that already has the cave built wins. Okay. How the soil banks, they're really good. I just finished off another one. I had to export to the lawn. I turned the lawn into a veggie patch. And the homeowner is like, okay, where am I getting the soil for this? I'm like, right here. They're like, well, that's going to be a big job. I said, you know what? No problem. I have pals. It's not an issue. I had pals show up, lay the cardboard with me. I had pals show up, move the soil for me. And then I moved a bunch of soil from her forest floor that I've been dumping there for years. Yeah. All the leaves come down for years. So I turned in, I just filled in that trench with kitchen waste from last winter, making the lawn to veggie patch, Uncle Al, and the pathway soil bank. And now I have a new one. So yesterday, the chief scout was here talking about his lemons and citrus, and he's pretty good at it. And so we went over there and we're digging in the new compost because he carries all my buckets down for me and everything of the compost. I just put a lid on it, save it for a few days for him. And then there's a few people around here that have compost. So there's always a new batch of layers going in the compost into the pathway soil bank hashtag. So, when you're in the community, try to be friends even with the bad guys. I know it's going to be tough, but bad people, they have a heart too. So, and maybe not so good people, and maybe really good people, and then some people that don't want to know you, but they all seem to leave their little compost here. They get rid of their green bin, they save a bunch of cash. But soil bank. Anyway, he was digging it. The chief scout was digging it yesterday. He's digging this new hole. He's like, "Didn't you just fill this in?" That was like a couple, 3 weeks ago or whatever, maybe a month or two ago. I don't remember. I said, "Yeah." He said, "But it's all soil." I said, "That's why that bag of lime's right there." He's like, "Bag of lime?" And it's the granulated lime. I said, "Yeah, you throw it all onto this compost that you're adding to this new layer." He's like, "I know how to make pathway soil bank." He says, "It's just that I don't see soil being made that fast." And I'm like, "Well, you're just not hanging out here. It's all in layers, green, brown, like a lasagna, baby." And when you're at your cave, you're still going to have waste, human waste. You're going to have human waste that's pathogenic that you don't want into your pathway soil bank. You want to do that separately. It's called a human manure compost toilet. It's all in layers again. Wood, sawdust, wood dust, wood sawdust, a layer of that on top of any human manure, urine or poop, bit of lime on that. You give that a good year somewhere. Yeah. Before you use it. But then again, everybody just takes regular old manure and throws it in there. It's pathogenic anyway. But because of all the rules in the world, I don't want to offend anybody. You do what you want, but be careful. Solarization of food that's why you get problems. People do use manures in a spray and it goes all over the greens, and then someone eats it and they're sick or die, or oh geez, that's not good. It ain't pretty either. Gut pain. Ooh. So when you compost, microbes make most things, most toxins inert as well. But yeah, by the cave, there's gonna be pathway soil bank building. There's gonna be a beehive. There's gonna be 3 to 5 goats per person. There's gonna be 50 chickens per person running around. Rhode Island Reds, if you don't know them, they're the ones that lay the golden egg and when it's 20 below out. Okay. Yep. Howie has a team of Earth warriors. Be a warrior. Earth lasagna. Yeah, exactly. That's how you make soil. And it's worth money, hey? And it accumulates fast because all these earthlings, they have no idea they're here. And you can train them to bring the green and brown waste to you because it saves the money when they don't have that green can anymore. And you can even train them to chop it up a little bit. It's amazing to see. It's like, okay, you want to do this? This one guy's been coming here for like a million years. Yeah, bees and are cavers, I guess sometimes. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Someone's attacking your cave. Bring in your beehive because if they're hungry, they're going for that beehive, and then just shake the living out of it and close the gate door or the cave door. They're your fighters too, eh? And if wasp takes up nest near your cave, you could shake that with a string on it, drive away a bear or some earthlings that you don't want to see. You got to remember, bees and wasps are your best friends. You know, need 275 Fahrenheit to break down microbes. I don't want to hurt my microbes. I like microbes. Microbes feed the plants. The plants feed me from plant plate to person. But some microbes are not healthy, like you're saying there, Uncle Al. I know that. And with pathogens, you have to break them down. So you're absolutely correct. Yep. If I lived close, I'd be over all the time for a million years too. Most have no idea of soil. How? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one scoop is a billion people, comparable to a billion. If you got a billion people, and you know, it's a billion microbes right there in one scoop. So how you look after your microbes, they really like sugar. Eh? They're sugar fiends. But you can hurt them, so you got to be kind to them. Most have no idea of soil. So when you have your cave, you have to have your bees. You have to have a pathway soil bank. You have to have goats. You have to have chickens. Those are and a water source, of course. And a water source is going to come in many ways. If it rains a lot on the West Coast, a tarp. There's my water source. Okay. And if that's it, that's it. That in British Columbia, that would collect a lot of water easily, especially if you got a big tarp hooked up and it's all running into barrels. You're going to run out of barrels real quick. Totes are nice, but it's very simple. If you had to go back to the Stone Age, it's very simple. But you must be allowed to live in the Stone Age. If you have compromised where there's earthlings come along saying, well, we can't have you having goats. Well, you can't have chickens. Oh. What I can't have is lip service from crazy nut jobs that's trying to tell you what to do. But I get it that some earthlings can hurt themselves. But as far as I'm concerned, you know what? That's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway. It's nature's way of weeding out the weak. That's how I look at it. I mean, I'm not saying to be like that, but hey, I mean, it's not rocket science. What do you do if you dig a cave and encounter radon gas in the strata? Radon, yeah, that's radiation. Yeah, well, I wouldn't dig one around Nova Scotia, that's for sure. New Brunswick. I mean, that place has got a lot of radon. But hey, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to worry about that. If there's a meteor coming that way, that's the last thing on my mind. If there's a zombie apocalypse, that's the last thing on my mind. If there's a war, that's the last thing on my mind about radon, radiation. It wouldn't be. We run into it a lot. Of course you do. That's why people get really sick living by it. Right? Yeah. Been working improved sewage system for NASA dealing with oysters. Oh, interesting. I help run electric. Oh, well, cool. Yeah, you will. You know what? You're going to run into whatever you're going to run into. And if you can think of it before and you can get some skills to deal with something, then you're probably going to live a long time. But if you don't learn new skills and you don't prepare, you're not going to live very long. And that's my opinion. I like people that go and bother somebody, like with loud music, bothering them, screaming, yelling, they're going to come over and say something to you. Now, it might not be nice what they do. So don't go over and bother anybody. It's like radon gas and where it's coming out. I wouldn't have a cave there. Radon, radiation. I wouldn't build one there. You can go get a Geiger counter. I mean, there's different, you can measure radiation. I'm sure of it. But back east, there's big pockets. Vent it out. Yeah, vent it out. Yeah. Whatever your situation is going to be, it's going to come from concept of observation. And when you have concepts of observation, there's some rules. It's called the 3 C's. For the first thing is you stay calm, whatever you're observing. You stay cool, like it's happening every day. And then you stay calm while you're governing your decision. Okay, that being said and done, that's the 3 C's. Then you got the 3 L's. You have to look, listen, and learn. And in some cases, you may have to have a notebook to write down exactly what you're seeing in case, someone shows up there with a bigger stick than you that requires it. Observe and record, and you may have to report. Who knows? Try not to report as much as you can. So anyway, you get down to who, what, when, where, how, and why. That's all part of concept of observation in your environment is key to survival. So yeah. Well, looks like there's some new people here. It's going to the pub for England game. Oh, interesting. And there's someone named, I can't read it. It looks like skeet shooting, skeeter. Okay. I'm outdoors man myself. Okay. Come on, England. Well, come on, Earthlings. Yeah. But yeah. But there's not too much to do when you go feral other than just have a good time, keep yourself entertained with all the new skills you learned before you went and found your cave. That being said and done, get out and just look where you would like a cave. Look what you would need for tools to make your cave. And a cave is not going to be having high vaulted ceilings. It's just going to be a place to go into, do a little cooking, sleeping, and storage of your whatever tools you have, your food, and think about having an escape route to an underground room from your cave eventually, and up to 3 escape routes from your underground room so you can actually leave. And Aid is putting up his I think that's a Finnish. Is that a Finnish flag or something? Or I don't know. I don't know my flags very well, but I'm thinking on making a new flag. It's called an Earth flag, and it won't be square. It'll be round inside of a square. You can guess what the round part is upon Earth. England flag, But yeah, think about your cave, folks. It's important to get your cave on. And, definitely that's a St. George, mate. Ah, cool. And what was I saying? Yeah, the cave, beehive, goats, chicken, radishes seed, winter squash seed, pathway soil bank, human manure. Learn new skills for how to stitch up and set a bone, right? That kind of thing. So, I'm not leaving Nessie. I was just saying bye to Dibble. Hey, later, folks. Later, Uncle Al. My ride for the food banks there. Al does a lot of charity work. He really does. It's amazing. I'm choosing nomadic. Absolutely. Nomads. That's the way to go. That's the only way this world's going to make it, especially in a Stone Age. I'm English, Georgie in Scotland. Oh. Nomadic, feral, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It's the way it's going to be in the future. So get out and just look for it. I left the things you should be thinking about. So I will see you all again. Thank you all for being here. There's some new folks here. I don't know them, but setting in one place gives me the creeps. Yeah, well, there's a reason why you have your spidey sense, your sixth sense, your gut feeling. I'm originally from North Nottingham at Queen. Cool. I've read a little bit about England's heritage, culture, and how the humans got to England, and there was already ones there, and it was really neat. You all take care, and good to see everybody, and have a good week. And we'll chat soon, and get your hive for at your cave. Plan now. It's really easy. See you, Urban. See you there, Make It by Mandy. See you, Vancouver Island. See you, everyone. Take care, Queen Nessie. My very best to everybody. Cave. Cave. Okay. Get out and get your cave and wave. Dave's got his backhoe. Dave's very industrial. Mm-hmm. Yep. And all I got to do is find my way out of here. I don't remember everything. Where are you? End stream. There we go. Take care. Remember the list. Cave.